I'm here with Steve Barduson, principal of Barduson Architects in Phoenix, Arizona. How's it going, Steve?
Doing really well, thank you.
Nice. What are some life experiences that have formed you into who you are today?
Well, the first one would be a mandatory drafting class that we had to take in 8th grade, and the instructor said he'd never seen anybody that could see in 3D so much, and he said I should pursue architecture. And going to ASU and being a part of the last Bachelor's of Architecture program, we were really tight, and that really galvanized my belief that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I ended up going to seminary for 4 years. I was already an architect, and then I went to seminary, and so when I went back and was involved in my own firm, started my own firm 29 years ago, it was natural to do church architecture. Realizing we can do this out of nothing, and then working as an intern in the summers, and then getting to go and visit some of the places that I had like that much impact on, but seeing it built, I think that was more what really got me stoked about it was you could not only do this stuff in your head, but you can actually see it.
Yeah. Would you say some of your core values are, and how are they reflected in the way you practice?
Absolutely. The core principles for me architecturally is, to me, the site is huge. And I would say second is function. I'm just a really stickler, and my value is to try to fit 10 pounds of lutefisk into a 5-pound bag. I love doing that, and having efficiencies with design. My own feeling is that not only the honesty of architecture, but the humility of architecture as compared to hubris. And I really believe that we are not servants of our clients if we have that kind of architectural arrogance.
What's your design process, including thinking, visualization, and realization?
What's the site context, all that I already mentioned. But then for me, it's starting to literally, I just pray about it. What is it that this thing wants to be, and how could this be unique for them? And then it gets into so the thinking is I'm constantly sketching and looking at the relationships of things, at the same time thinking and processing the site and other ideas. And so the visualization for me, if I'm honest, is I still do look at a lot of images to inspire me. I do believe strongly in the visualization, but the actual realization of it, of the design itself process is, as you know, I'm a drawer, I'm a sketcher, I'm a model builder, I'm ultimately the VR. I just can't imagine designing now without VR.
How do you collaborate with other individuals to realize your design?
We've teamed with lots of firms in the Valley. Before, even though we've always been a smaller firm. And so for me, team is about, you definitely have to have a leader that's going to set the pattern. But I feel like the collaboration is to come up with a concept, some leading concepts, and have other people take it from different approaches, or specifically to challenge it or to support it and revise it, and to start to, as a team, with that central thought, head it down a path.
How has Peter Sunthorpe's architectural ideas and buildings impacted your practice?
I wish I had studied him more. I wish that I had spent more time studying, especially his design process, his values, his thoughts. And so what I enjoy about his practice is that he's such a variety of aesthetic, and even the tectonics of how he does things is unique to the project. And I really believe in that. Designing this church in Chandler, it was St. Benedict's that inspired me to go with a continuous clear stern in the top, so that people, as they're seated, that they would be able to see the clouds and the blue, and maybe just the blue, and have that more transcendent feeling of lifting our eyes, not just physically but spiritually.
Being in contemporary church architecture and noticing things that are missing, like the transcendence, what are some challenges you face in that?
Transcendence, number one, is building codes don't allow us to put up structures that give us any height. So number two is the theology of contemporary churches is much more utilitarian and existential, just about the experience of each individual, and you can just do that anywhere, you can go anywhere. The third one is that the budgets, the contemporary churches don't have the budgets that other churches do, and just to be honest, they're like, just give me a black box, we'll worship in that.
What advice would you give to a young student?
I would say, give it a chance. Give architecture a chance. Meaning, work at least 6 months or so just to get a feel for what it's really like. Even if they're not doing what they're wanting to do yet, they're observing what other people are getting to do, and see if there's a little fire that kind of rises up. Because if it's not there yet, I believe that one of the pieces of advice is make sure that's your passion.
Thank you so much, Steve.
That's it?
Time. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.